Hi, my name is Jordan Fry, and I'm excited to share my new experience project with you. I've titled it My First Mass as a Baptist Last. So, a bit of background about me is that I'm Baptist. The Christian faith is divided into three different branches there is Protestant, Catholic, and Orthodox. So, I'm a member of the Protestant section of Christianity. And even though they're all considered a part of the same religion, they have very different traditions and very different ways of running service. So I decided to attend Mass on Tuesday, April 7th at 8 a.m. It was St. Luke's, a church in Dahlonega. And I was a bit nervous, and I happened to be staying with a friend that night, so my friend and I went together. In that picture, you can see me and my friend Carly. We mostly went into this experience feeling confident, but we also went in a bit nervous. And we soon figured out that we would be very nervous because we ended up having a lot more new experiences than we expected. So during those new experiences, we experienced some stress, and stress is how the body responds when it is faced with what it perceives as adverse or threatening circumstances. So even though we weren't in any danger, we felt vulnerable, and that led us into what is called fight or flight. During communion, we had to kneel before the priest, and he placed the communion into our mouths, so that was a little bit vulnerable and new for us, which led to a spike in adrenaline, which is a hormone associated with the sympathetic nervous system, and it also led to cortisol being released, which helps to sharpen our focus and help us cope with stressful situations. In order to calm down from the situation and get my heart rate to slow down, I use the emotional coping techniques of praying, closing my eyes, and taking deep breaths, and that was very helpful. So, also during the service, we experienced a lot of learning. One of the ways we experienced learning was through observational learning. We use this in order to know when to kneel or stand or sit. And observational learning occurs in 4 stages. There's attention, retention, motor reproduction, and motivation. So we had to have attention in seeing what was happening around us, and we had to continue having that attention throughout the service in order to not experience loss of focus on what's happening, in order to keep changing as other things change. And we also had to do motor reproduction as following along and kneeling and standing when they did in order to stay with the service. And our motivation was to respect the members of the church and not stand out. So we also used operant conditioning throughout the service. Operant conditioning is adjusting behavior based on the consequences of said behavior. So after communion, my friend Carly turned to me, and the face she made caused me to laugh. In the moment, I was very stressed and already primed to be giggly because I was just like, oh, this is uncomfortable and new for me. And I let out a bit of a laugh, but I tried to cover it with a cough very quickly because I did not want to stand out. The consequence of this action was a couple of stares, and in operant conditioning, a punishment is what is called when there's a negative response, and a reinforcement is what it's called when there's a positive response. So this punishment of standing out caused me to not repeat the behavior anymore throughout the service, and I was able to stay calm and keep in any giggling or laughter. Conclusions, this experience was really exciting and also sometimes intimidating, and I've always loved new experiences. I've been on a game show, I've learned how to belay and put on harnesses on people, I've learned to unicycle, and despite the fact that I've done all of these new things and that all of them brought me anxiety and excitement, this new experience still managed to bring me more insight and more knowledge on the things of this world. And even though it was stressful at moments, Carly and I both agreed that we wanted to continue to attend new religious services and seek out new experiences, and also to grow in our faith by learning about what other people believe and why we believe what we believe. So thank you so much for watching. These are my references. I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you.